Welcome back to Getting Some Head, baby. I'm Michael fucking Rainey here with my dear friend Ebony Moore. Ebony, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
I'm so excited to get you in here.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It's a nice summer day, chilling.
Yeah. Always good to see you. I made sure I had your new Amsterdam gin set up.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know you wanted your gin and juice.
Gin and juice, baby. It's like my new obsession, though, for real. Like, I had it for the first time at Crash Out Comedy. It's like BYOB, and I got this. I've never had gin, so it made me feel like I described it like as Lil Wayne when he was on Lean.
Yeah.
That's how I feel now.
You're feeling Wayne-y?
Yes. I feel like Weezy. Like, feel good. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you got drunk?
Yes.
I think you might have told me before, but tell me again.
I don't know if I told you this. I was really young when I started drinking. I went to a rural high school and started off with Miller High Life. That's still my favorite beer. And then I had Patron shot. And I didn't feel like the effect till I went to the bathroom and I caught my reflection. And without going into it, I had kind of had a stressful childhood at that time. Some of the parts was amazing, but then this part was stressful. So I'm getting drunk for the first time at one of them country functions now. They doing line dancing and stuff, which is all the rage now. And something just overtook me, and I was like, hell yeah. Like, I came out, I was dancing. Like, my mom was like, who the fuck is, like, oh man, like, that was it. It got to a point she had to like sit me down and talk to me.
You're having too much fun?
Like, she was like, every weekend you getting fucked up and you waking up with headaches and stuff. She was crying and shit, and I was like, girl, like. And so when I got older and saw intervention, I was like, oh, that would usually be the point where I would have a problem. Like, she was right but yeah, I got so fucked up. It was Miller High Life and Patron, and then they had a keg the next time I was over there. So.
Oh my goodness!
And she was trying to make me appear ladylike. So when I would go to these little shindigs, she would send me with my own like 12-pack of Miller High Life bottles.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, just so I wouldn't embarrass her. Like, oh, Ebony come and she drink up all the beer. Like, no, I got my own shit. You know what I mean? Like.
Now that I think that might have been the first beer I had too. Yeah. I had little bottles that I would keep under my bed. I don't even know how the fuck I got them.
Yeah.
But I remember drinking them when I was in high school, knowing I wasn't supposed to be having them. And I didn't even know if I liked it or not, but I would just drink them just to say that I did it.
Yeah, like, I know what you're talking about. They call them the pony bottles.
Yeah.
Those, I just knocked them. I was a Miller High Life connoisseur. I had the hat and everything. Like, I was a legend.
You're a brand ambassador.
Yeah. And then, oddly enough, when I got to college, I didn't really drink like that until I got to Temple. And that's when, that's when things escalated, but.
What changed?
My first college was in Alabama. I didn't get into Temple. I came up here on a an athletic scholarship. So the coach at Temple that was there first, she resigned or something. Like, she was very beloved and she had to stop coaching.
What sport was it?
I used to throw the discus.
Oh, I didn't know that about you.
That shit, yeah. But I made it look sexy. Like, I used to have on lashes and everything. Like,
you were dressed like this?
Yeah, I was color coordinating. I do my look. And, I was never one of them. Oh, because Brock Lesnar does. She's cold. She's fire. But I was smooth with it. Made it look sexy or whatever. But anyway, so I had to do a year at this school in Alabama. My twin sister's like a genius, so she got into Temple no problem academically. My thing got fucked up because of the coach situation. They didn't code my application, which is basically sneaking me in. And so I had to do a year at this school in Alabama. It was just boring. It was like super boring, nothing to do. We was 17, like we went to college early. And then so by the time we got to Temple, like we had all this pent up like rage in us, and Philly ended up being like the perfect place for us to be. Like, we was getting fucked up all the time. Like, people was just like, it was, and as you can see, I stayed. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Now, you described your sister as a genius. You're brilliant too, and I know you probably would never say that, but
mean, you know, I do a little razzle dazzle. No. So she's a chemist, and I have a degree in neuroscience. So yeah, I'm smart and shit, but I don't have no common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, but my thing is, I'm not good at math, and so I always downplay myself because I was supposed to be a doctor, and I did bad on the MCAT test twice. So, you know, so me working in science now was just like, not like I failed, but like that wasn't the plan, you know. So I always kind of have a little, and I'm kind of modest anyway. When you know, it's not something I tell people. I just started telling people this shit. I think when I was on Dad Meet was the first time I told people what I do. But yeah, I know a few big words. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
How early on did you realize you were gifted?
Gifted?
Which you are. If you have a degree in neuroscience, you're gifted.
I don't know. So we went to school early. Like, we skipped a grade technically. My mom just sent us to school. She was like, fuck it, y'all big, y'all tall, y'all not staying home. She's like, I swear, like, that's literally this. And now that I'm older, it's like people get in trouble for shit like that. Mm-hmm. Like, she was just like, and we had a fake birthday and stuff, and she'd be like, tell them, and you know, my birthday on Halloween, so I didn't want to tell them another birthday. You know, I got a cool ass birthday. Like, it was like May something. My birthday is May, whatever. I was like, you know, it was both of us, and so the kindergarten teacher was like, you know, Ebony's cool, but Amber is immature, and my mom did the whole like, you know, black mom. How the fuck is a kindergartner immature? Like, are you kidding me? What do you say, mama? And she used to cry a lot. And she said, are you sure that they are the age? Because Amber cries a lot. And so around the time when I was able to like maneuver and just kind of be different at school and then different at home, and I always been like this. I would say around, it was early when I was just like, okay, I guess we different. You know, I would say like 5. Like, I always knew how to read. That's crazy to say. Because this is my forehead. Like, they always talk about my head. Because that's why I cut. They were like, she got a big ass head. We was just smart, I guess. Just book smart. I keep emphasizing book smart because there's so many things that I be fucking up at. Not a good driver. I don't have no object permanence. I get lost easy. You know, but I would say as far as that, 3rd grade too, they started saying like, okay, you don't have to do that. You can do this. So I would say around 3rd grade, they was like, okay, they are different. You know?
Did you always gravitate towards science?
I would say yes. My mom, she just presented that as the only 2 options. Like, she was just like, you can either be a doctor or a lawyer. And a lot of my Asian friends was like, your mom sound Asian. Like, she sound like a tiger mom, you know. And I'd be like, really? Because I tell them certain stuff. It's just, those were the only 2 options she gave us. And I do remember we had a neighbor. He was like a Jesus fanatic. And one day he just started throwing these books out the fucking window. And we started picking them up. And we was like, what's going on? And he was like, my wife is finished with medical school, you know. And they moved out the hood and everything. They was white. They was our only white neighbors, and they left. And I was like, damn. Like, me and my sister started flipping through the books and stuff. One of them was like microbiology and, you know, other stuff, neurobiology of disease and shit like that. And we started reading them.
Jesus.
And I don't know if you ever seen Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, motherfucker, you got the pathogen in the pathway, and that's not the neuroreceptor. That's how me and my sister was talking to each other. And she was like, no, bitch, because she's really good at like, anybody that know us know this true. Like, and it was to the point where like we went when I made friends at Temple, like we was partying, we was getting fucked up. But my mom always said, you can do whatever you want to do. You have to get up and go to school in the morning. That's it. That was the only rule. So we was wild as hell, but we was gonna get up and go to school in the morning. So I had some friends at Temple that flunked out, and they like, cause you flunking. I'm like, no, I'm doing all right. Like I could be doing better, but I went to class. I did. They're like, what? Yeah, like I was doing a keg stand, but I got up the next morning. Like I'm always get up. And anybody that know me, I'm going to work. I'm gonna go to school, whatever. So that's just it's just this balance of being like wow, and just my mom having the audacity, especially looking back in retrospect, some of the shit that we have lived through, the family that we come from, like the audacity for her to say you can only be a doctor or a lawyer, like. I'm like, now I look back like, girl, like, you should have said dental hygienist or like, you know what I'm saying? Paralegal, like, bring it down some, like, which those are great professions, but she never gave us no option but to just do it to the max.
Was she always on you to do that, or did you develop a strong work ethic pretty quick?
She just said that's what it is, and we was just like, all right, cool. And then we brought our own little pizzazz to it, you know, like I don't know, we was nerds, but like we wasn't like ashamed of it.
That's cool.
And so like I would say at the time at my school, like being smart was kind of cool. Like, so we grew up in St. Louis too. Like I'm from everywhere, so we grew up in St. Louis too, and they had an emphasis on like the science center and you know, like our school had a very low population of students, so we got a lot of attention. They had a lot of budget. The school was only like black and Jewish, and you know, not to be stereotypical, a lot of my Jewish classmates' parents had money, so they were like, you know, we would have plays and extra budget for stuff. Like it was like going to a private school for real. And so you know, we just basically got lucky in a lot of sense of the term. Just like it was kind of the perfect climate to you know, foster what we, you know, the kind of brain power we had, because definitely could have applied it in the wrong way. It's definitely been times where I have applied it in the wrong way. So you gotta make the choice to be like, I'm gonna be a good person, and yeah, that was it. And once I get into something, like I really like reading medical journals and shit like that, scientific journals. Yeah. Like I've written some research proposals. I wanted to make this therapy that competes with CAR T cell therapy right now.
What is that?
Basically, CAR T cell therapy is like genetic engineering. Like they'll cut a bad gene out, CRISPR, stuff like that. That's all the rage. Like they just cured sickle cell, and so
I had no idea.
Yeah, but it's like $1 million a patient.
Oh.
So I wanted to come up with like something to compete with it. So you would basically bioengineer the parvovirus, which you know dogs get that, but that can actually cross the blood barrier in fetuses. So you can you know, manipulate it so that you basically implant that missing gene. Like it's just.
Is there any concern about turning kids into dogs?
Yes. So wait. No, I actually did get the attention of somebody, and they was asking me all these questions. It was like, this is a little too risky. So, you know, he's much, you know, his PhD level. I only have a master's, so he's like, this is risky, but the ambition is there, you know. Basically, he said no. So, but I do stuff like that. I keep my ears to like the scientific streets, I guess.
But that would be. Do you think there's anybody out there that might see the brilliance in your idea and be like, you know, we're going to try it, and then be able to like look a parent in the eye and proudly say, all right, your son doesn't have a sickle cell, but he is a pit bull now.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it depends on how profitable it will be, you know, like in all seriousness, it all boils down to that. Like what I do right now is I work on a cancer drug, and honestly, it all just boils down to money. These people could get these medical interventions at an earlier stage, but the way it is now, everybody got their hand in it, so they have to do their chemo, they have to do this, they have to do that. And they know what we're making is more effective, and they have to give them that as like a last ditch effort. So literally, if I could tell a person, that it, it's gonna make y'all super super rich, then they might do it. We might have some little pit bulls running around. I don't know. But yeah, those type of conversations, and that's why I like comedy, because it's like, I'm telling you, I've tried so many different avenues to get my perspective out in the world, whether it be through science, research, screenwriting, this, that. The only thing for me that has worked is telling jokes. That's it. It's like, so right now, that's what I've been focusing on, and it's been, I've been putting in a lot of work, but this is the first thing that I ever like felt like if I keep at it, I'm gonna get where I want to get. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's no doubt.
Thank you. But
I mean, it's you're a star right now. I think it's just a matter of people finding out about that.
So I was on TikTok, and there's this one guy. You always got that one guy that like your stuff, and he like, man, people must be scrolling by this, because every time you post something, I be cracking up. I'm like, they gotta stick around. I don't know, But that's what I've been told too. Like, it's just a matter of, getting in front of some eyes, So
Have you ever thought of doing a like a scientific like YouTube series or something?
Yes, like I've been thinking about that all the time, and lately I've been kind of like I had these little bursts of productivity. This week I've been super productive because I make my own flyers, I make my own reels. I do a lot of stuff, but that's the one thing I need to work on. Like, I have a name for it in my mind. I have like the concepts, like I have an idea of like certain venues that I think would attract people in my field, and they will understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, that I've been thinking about that. It'll be a little gamble, and I might lose some other people because they'd be like, "What the fuck is she talking about? Like, what the hell is pro-lucan?" Like. But then for every once in a while, it'll be some people that know what I'm talking about. So.
I think you would gain a lot of people just off the fact that it's people that you typically think of presenting medical or scientific knowledge. Yeah. It's easy to tune out on that stuff, but when you have somebody who's so unique like you, it would be easy to have that hook to reel them in.
Thank you. I literally, it's been on my mind because sometimes I've been doing crowd work, and like it happened like 2 times in a row. Somebody was working in like pharmaceuticals or something, and the guy, he's like, "I'm a quality auditor," and I was like, "Oh, you a fucking snitch," It's like, "Oh my God, yes, how'd you know?" I'm like, "Cause I'm y'all are our enemy." They start auditing shit, and they saying these cell count was off, and so it's been people I've been able to connect with, and I was like, this, I take everything as a sign. That gets me in trouble too. But I was like, this is a sign. I gotta explore this. So yeah, that's funny you said that. That's definitely been on my mind.
Did they give you a heads up when those people are coming through, or did they surprise you and you just have to deal with it?
It just surprised me. Like, I was just like, "What do you do for a living?" Red shirt, and just I work in, and I'm like, "Oh, okay," and because I do have kind of a template of responses in my mind, and when they said that, I'm like, "Oh, that's a softball. I'm about to make her feel like shit." Like, So, and I've been getting lucky like that the last 2 shows. So I've been like, I need to work on that, because it's definitely would be a lane that probably I'm only in or whatever. I think maybe one guy, he's a pharmacist on Instagram, and he kind of talks about certain stuff, but it's still not in the way that I see me doing it in my mind. So, yeah.
You would crush that.
I'm gonna sit down, maybe dedicate some time and like write some stuff out, see what I come up with. This is gonna be so fucking nerdy.
I think that'd be perfect. Now, you clearly have a lot of ambition in regards to creative stuff. Do you have that same kind of ambition for your current career, or are you happy where you're at?
I did, but after I got laid off the first time, so they call it like the life sciences life cycle, and it start from startup to research and development. Then they start manufacturing where I'm at, making the actual medicine and stuff. Then it hits the trials and markets, and so much shit go wrong from start to finish like that. And right now, not to get political, we're not in a climate where, you know, politically science is really being backed and like invested in right now. So everything's slowing down. And I'm just tired of that. Like, I'm tired of like, okay, you know, it's hot one second and it's not. It's, you know, so I did have so many ambitions, but now I'm focusing on something else. Like, I used to like, for fun, like it's nerdy as hell, but I would like, you know, write some research proposals and, you know, send some emails to somebody at NIH and, you know, what do you think? Do you think this would be feasible? And sometimes they email you back and say, you know, they send you some guidance. I'm not interested in it no more. It's like, right now, I work so I can pay bills and you know, gas in the car to get to the shows. Like, that's, I'm wore out.
Did you know you were funny at a young age too?
Yeah, that sounds so cocky to me, but my whole family is funny. Like, we don't take nothing serious. I have my sister. I think my sister is funnier than me, but I've always gotten in a lot of trouble.
From being funny?
Yeah, getting put in the hallways. And it was kind of like a conundrum for the teacher because they're like, she's doing well academically, but behavior-wise, she's doing horrible. You know, she's saying stuff that's fucked up and it's advanced. And we telling her not to say, you know, I got in this phase in the 7th grade where I just kept saying sodomize for everything. I don't know why I learned this. I swear. You can ask my mom. I was just like, we would have like a free write, and I'd be like, because middle school was just sodomizing my ambition and sodomize. And they called it in. It was like, what is this about? Like, what? And my mom was like, have anybody touched you? And I'm like, no. You think I'd be quiet about somebody touching me? She's like, you right. She's like, can you not with the sodomize? I'm like, all right, cool.
You just had a sodomy face.
Yeah, then I switched to like
as a kid.
fornicate. And then she was like, oh my God. You know, so just always pushing the envelope. And I get like, I have these late night just cringe fest sometimes. Like, oh, I can't believe I said that. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Like, I was just so brash and just no filter. But now that a lot of people having like the neurodivergence conversations, and I've had some, you know, evaluations and stuff like that. I just used to say whatever, and back then you just got labeled like she's a fucked up kid, you know, she's smart, but this girl is fucked up, you know, and they just kind of push you to the side, and so I had to learn to maneuver that. But I was funny. I said a lot of inappropriate stuff. My grandma was funny, like super funny, but now we know she was bipolar, you know what I'm saying? She was super fabulous, always dressed up, makeup. She was like 4'6", which is crazy because I'm so big, but she was so hilarious. Like, she would get on a roll and just start just roasting. I see her, she made me cry before, you know? So, my whole family funny. I'm just the only person that just was like, you know what? When I was working at the VA near Helium, I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to walk over there. I'm going to do it. Y'all keep telling me nobody's reading my scripts. My cousin in New York, he's in the writer's room now. He's just like, you know, if you do stand-up, it'll bring attention to you. And I was just like, I just got sick. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I walked in there, and this black guy was making drinks. Now I know that's Brad. I was like, I'm scared. He was like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. And I remember I ordered a Crown Apple and something, and I just kept drinking and did my little time. I did good. They turned the music on me because I didn't get off stage.
Did you think that's because you were doing good?
Yeah, I was like, I'm killing it. I just lost my sense of time, and then King Cobb, yeah. He was the host that night. He was like, I told y'all they gonna turn the fucking music on y'all if y'all don't wrap it up. And I was just on cloud, and I was like, they was laughing. I didn't bomb, you know. And That's why I was like, I'm doing this. And then COVID happened and I didn't do it again for like 2 more years. So I did Funniest. And then I went over my time in the second round. And I did it again last year. And now I'm going to be in the second round again this year. So I feel like because I've been doing so many reps, doing so much stand-up, those like big laughs and stuff don't get me like caught up to the point that I just keep going and running the light. But yeah, I feel like I always been funny. I just ain't know how to channel it like in a productive or appropriate way. So,
hey guys, I just want to take a second to thank our sponsor, Hall of Fame. Guessing is for amateurs. Place your bets using real data with Hall of Fame. Founded by data nerds who know the importance of cold, hard facts, Hall of Fame lets you use matchup grades, leg correlation tools, and player performance insights. Once you've created your parlay, you can even send it right to your sportsbook with just one click, so betting is easier than ever. Hall of Fame syncs up with most major sports books like DraftKings and FanDuel. Stop leaving money on the table. It's time to quit the guessing game. For a limited time only, listeners not only get a 7-day free trial, but they also get 50% off their first month when they use code HEAD at checkout. That's code HEAD at checkout. Just download the Hall of Fame app on iOS or Android, enter code HEAD, HEAD, and you're all set. Did you ever act in any plays or anything as a kid?
Oh, man, Mike. Why you have to ask me that? No, I never really was in a play. But I did. This is weird. So, I've been getting faster at, because oddly enough, I'm terrible at telling stories like on a personal level. But the quick and dirty of this is, I went to summer camp. I went to a white Girl Scout summer camp, and I did an Amanda Bynes impersonation. And as y'all say, it killed. It killed. They was in stitches. It was like, she's so funny. Like she used to do this thing where she was checking the mail, and she'd be like, "Shut up!" Like she was, did that at Camp Cedar Ledge in Illinois and killed. Came to this hood camp in St. Louis when I got back home, Del Mar, Harvard. And that was my first bomb, technically. And it was so bad that I had used my friend's name. She told me I could say her name, Victoria. And I was like, "Victoria has roaches." And the crowd was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, and it was just stark quietness. And then her mom was like, "What you say about my baby?" And she walked up on the stage and pulled me off by my ear and shit. And that kind of saved me, though, because it made all the other people there appalled, because they all was like, "We didn't hear what you said. She didn't even give you a chance." I'm saying to myself, "Yeah, right? She didn't give me a chance." So it was like a whole controversy, and so that was like my first like theatrical, because it was a stage there, and I did that. And then I also wrote a play. I don't know why. I always be doing shit. And my poor mom, she's like, "These fucking twins is crazy." But I wrote a play, and I acted out a scene. It involved slavery. I had a bandana on my head, and I kept saying, "Weez is free." And I was grabbing her leg, and her and my sister was in the kitchen. And you remember when Charlie Murphy, like the hater of the year, and he was like, and they just both bust out laughing. I was mortified. I was on my knees like y'all didn't feel that? They was like, "If you don't get the fuck out of here with that bullshit." And they said Weez is free for years. They was just like, Ebony. I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Weez is free. Weez is free." I just was like, I'm never doing nothing creative. I'm never fucking with y'all again. Like, fuck y'all. And they just bust out laughing. And so, so I had my first bomb. I had my first, creative rejections at an early. I didn't even know that's what I was doing. So I wrote a play and immediately abandoned it because they was making fun of me, my sister and my mom. And then I had the camp incident. So when I did Helium open mic, my Uber one day, he was like, "You should do it. You should do it." Like, everybody just kept telling me to do it. And then I walked over there and did it. And then I've been doing the shit ever since, kind of.
What do you like to write now?
I still write screenplays and stuff. I've been like rewriting scripts right now. I ain't gonna lie, I'm working on like a Revenge of the Nerd type of reboot with black girls. You know,
that would be terrific.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. But when it comes to writing scripts, it's like so much. Probably getting a text message. Me and my sister been arguing on text message. It's so much rejection with that. Like you get an answer to your email, and then you waiting for them to get back to you, and then I loved it, but yeah, we're not gonna ever make this. You're like, oh shit. So right now I'm trying to do some sketches. I would like to do some sketches and collaborate with other Philly comics, because that's important to me too. Like people that have booked me and platformed me. I like to say, oh, I got this going on. You want to do this or do that, and just sketches, really, like little shorts and shit like that. But that's what I write a lot. Most of my scripts have been dark comedies, and that's initially all I wanted to do. I didn't want to be. Some people know this. I was like 100 pounds bigger than I am now, so I never wanted to. Even doing stand up, I was trying to figure out a way like that I can change clothes and just film a lot of time on stage, so I wouldn't have to go to different mics and stuff. And I just couldn't come up with a shortcut. There's no shortcut except to get on stage and perform. And once I kind of accepted that, and I think it was like Peggy, and it was Drew and a couple other people, Brian Fennell. I thought helium open mic was the only thing you can do. And then you do the open mic enough, and then somebody will say, oh, you're good enough to... Yeah, I had no idea. So, yeah. So, that's it just turned in from wanting to be a screenwriter to let me try stand up to show my comedic perspective to, like, this is kind of all I want to do now.
Is there any creative outlet that you've always wanted to pursue but you haven't tried it yet?
Yeah, not really, no. Just writing and stand up for real. I used to take pole classes. How
did that go?
That was cool. It was cool. Like I'm originally from Atlanta, so everybody is stripper, and if they not a stripper, they stripper adjacent, like they was a bartender or something. Like it's not a big deal out there. And I was just obsessed with them for some reason at the time, just their confidence. And so I was taking the classes, and I was like really getting into, like, this is gonna sound so crazy. Pole dancing saved me one time. Like one winter I was super depressed, and I had the pole in my room, and that's what I used to do. Just it's a good workout, and you're not thinking about shit. You just swinging from the ceiling.
Did anybody know what you were doing up there?
Yeah, my mom always with the bullshit. That's one thing. Now I look back on it, me and her, we ain't been getting along too good lately, which is sad. But looking throughout she always been with the bullshit. And like now that I know what I want to do, I'm working at it, I'm diligent. We're not getting along. But I told my mom I want to be America's Next Top Fat Pole Dancer. Oh yes, my baby, she shit on you hoes. We going to Magic City. We going, like, but yeah, my mom always with the bullshit. So she know I was swinging. One time, because of my weight at the time, I was almost 400 pounds. And oddly enough, I pole dance better at that weight. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I think I was just used to being at that weight. I don't know, but I don't know if it's from my weight. Well, I don't know. Of course it was because of my fucking weight. The pole was spinning, and like the thing got locked in a way. Like it has a spinning mechanism, and Ryan Foster probably could explain the bearing, and it got stuck, and we could not get this pole down. So my dad had to kind of My parents were separated at the time. My dad had to come take a circle saw to it, and just you see the sparks and shit. And I'm just sitting there like look at my life, like look at my life. And that's when I just after that happened, I was like, I ain't even got the pole no more. Like, I'm gonna go back to Philly. Like cause my twin sister had already left. She's like, man, it ain't nothing in Georgia. We gotta go. Like, you gotta. I'm like, I'm like, damn, look at the poll. Like, cause it's this period. It's this period from when you graduate college to like when you get out there in the world and shit. And it was just depressing. And oddly enough, Bill Cosby we were the last class where he was the speaker. Remember, he would do that every year. And he said, hey, I know it's enticing. Do not go back home. Stay in the fight. Keep struggling. Make your own way. I was like, man, fuck that. I'm going back home. Like, tired. Like, I live in Philly. Like, I'm on the SEPTA and shit. I'm going home. Like, and I hate to give it to him, but that was the biggest mistake I ever made because I couldn't get a job. I was like festering and, I was super dependent on my mom and I was trying to take the MCAT. And I just was like, but yeah, when he cut that pole in half, I was like, it's time to go. Ain't nothing working, So.
How many different places have you lived?
Oh man, so I was born in Arkansas. My dad was in the Air Force. So I was born in Arkansas. My mom from Compton. She grew up in St. Louis too, though, after some shit happened. My dad from Florida. Then they moved us to St. Louis. And then I came to Georgia. We came to Georgia as little girls. We moved to Atlanta. Then we left like the metro area to like a super rural area. And I have to say that because it was such a stark difference. Like I'm talking about cows and chickens and shit. And that's why I sound like this. Because a lot of people think I'm from Mississippi. That's why I do the I know how to read joke. I'm like, I know how to read and shit. Like, but then went to first year of school in Alabama. Then came to Philly. So it's a lot of representation. Then it's a lot. My family live everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still have a lot of family in LA. I got family in Houston. I got family in Louisiana. Like, it's just, you name it. I even got a cousin in Guam. I don't know what the hell, so we everywhere, So.
Do you think you'll stay in Philly for a while or you picture yourself moving?
Honestly, me and my twin sister bump heads about this because we live together and shit, but she want to move to like Lansdale or somewhere more suburban, but I really don't see me living nowhere else but South Philly. Like, I really like South Philly. If I did go somewhere else, it'd probably be New York. I used to be obsessed with New York when I was in high school. I wanted to live there. And when I lived in Southwest Philly, I hated Philly. And so once I got to South Philly, I was like, fuck New York. Like, I do everything here that I like to do. It's people here. It's bustling. It's, I really love Philly. Like, I really do. I hate Philly at the same time. We all say that sometimes. But I really don't see me living nowhere else unless I go to, like, Brooklyn or something. And the odds of that would depend on, my comedy and stuff. Like, because I definitely would have to afford to live there. So, yeah. But for right now, I could just see me in Philly, like, forever, honestly. Yeah.
What do you like to read?
I don't really read no more. I read like scientific journals. Lately I've been obsessed with like CNN articles and shit, but I used to be a big fiction girl and all them freaky ass nasty urban books. Like, that was my first reading experience. Like, all that, the
Quan
G-spot.
Mills.
Yeah. My sister loved Quan Mills. This bitch got roaches. That's one of his books. My baby daddy is a hood werewolf or some shit. Somebody said he uses his autism for bad. But he's prolific. Like, he really write book, like a new book every week. But Yeah, I like to read anything. I tried to get into like Walter Mosley, those type of investigative noir books, yeah, anything kind of science fiction. I used to be into that, but I would like to get into reading books again, but probably got to get a Kindle or something. I tried Audible. I can't focus. I cannot.
I fall asleep.
Yeah, it be on like chapter 10, and I'm like, I didn't hear shit. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, she's pregnant. Like, it's always a waste of my time, waste of my money. I tried to get into manga or whatever, anime and shit. No, I don't like that shit. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's the type of shit I like to read. Just shit like that.
Were there any movies or TV shows that help shape your personality?
Oh, yes. So my birthday, like I told you, our birthday on Halloween. So again, my parents were super young when they had us, so we watched everything, like all that R-rated TVMA. They were like, yes. What the fuck? We don't care. Like, So I was a huge Child's Play fan, Chucky. And I was not scared of horrors when I was little. Now that I'm grown, I don't watch a lot of horror, but back then I literally was just telling somebody about this. TNT would have this weekly show with this guy, and he would put on a scary movie and I guess walk you through it, or it would be equivalent to a podcast now. And I saw Maximum Overdrive.
Oh yeah, the truck movie.
Yeah. Yes, and I saw it and I was like, this shit is good. Like, for some reason I saw A Clockwork Orange at a very young age. I was like 7 when I seen that shit at my grandma's house, and that's when I started liking like futuristic modern furniture, and we was just fucking weird. Now that I think about it, we was weird. I love we watched a lot of vampire films, just horror. I would say all the horrors that I was exposed to, I just wanted to be this. I was kind of goth for a little bit too. Then the Pink was kind of rebrand. So I don't know, like Child's Play and Bride of Chucky, definitely. Like, I thought Jennifer Tilly was the hottest shit in that movie. Like, yeah, so definitely those couple of movies.
Damn. When you watch Child's Play, would that like kind of like spur like any kind of like creativeness in you or creativity in you to make like, all right, I want to make something like this someday?
Yeah, definitely. I liked how just brash Chucky was. Like, oh, he seeing as a kid, seeing a little doll figure, like, just,
it's empowering.
Yeah, raising hell. You're like, oh, I could be raising hell. Like,
is that where you were screaming sodomy in there?
Yeah, just sodomized, sexualized, like, shit like that. And just, I don't know, it was super creative at the time. Like, when I saw it, just the concept of it, like, this Chucky was cool. And then it was something else I saw when I was little, and I was super influenced by it. It was right on the tip of my tongue. We watched a lot of zombie movies and shit like that, but yeah, just horrors, I would say, and yeah, just we listened to a lot of music, and we would go to, like, my mom would take us to like the midnight movie shows and shit. We saw The Sixth Sense and stuff like that. I was just super into horrors at the time. I don't know. We just was dark like that. They let us watch Natural Born Killers at an early age. I just seen a lot of shit I probably shouldn't have seen. Now I'm thinking about it.
No, it's the same thing. Like, it was my parents. We had video stores. I was born in 78, so like late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. That was like the one luxury we had, is we belonged to multiple video stores.
Okay, yeah.
And there were some video stores that had more of like an eclectic mix of horror, which was my thing back then. Yeah. And yeah, I specifically remember like Chucky striking a chord. And it was just nuts, like seeing somebody like that small do that kind of stuff. Because there was stuff like puppet movies and shit like that. But there was no real like bad kid-sized monsters up until that point.
No, and the way he was cussing and stuff, like, yo, he's cool as shit. Like, you know, this is the end, friend, you know. And she just, I don't know, she didn't have the wherewithal to be like worried. Like they love that. They love that type of shit. And people like, you gonna let your kids watch this? Like, it's like, oh yeah, they got a countdown on the computer for when see the Chucky. That sucks so bad. But yeah, I have been waiting for that for like, I used to read the what they call the trades or whatever, and I'm like, they making another Chucky. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, we gonna go see it, you know. But yeah, shit like that just always, that was kind of the only fandom I really belonged to, with shit like that. And we lived in like a eclectic area when I was little. I guess they would probably, the equivalent would be like South Street. So we would see a lot of like goth people, the freaks and geeks and type shit. And, you know, they was just cool to me. You know, like that 90s counterculture type thing. People with spiked hair, and they was always cool, you know. So definitely felt like, I don't know, not an outsider, but like, I just know I was going to be different, you know. And it was kind of encouraged, you know, so shit like that.
Oh, that's so cool to hear. Ebony, I could talk to you all fucking day. Thankfully, you're going to stick around for part 2 of this episode. Is there anything you want to promote before we head to that?
Just the special. I still got my Amazon Prime special, Ebony Moore, the Strawberry Mansion. And you would literally have to put the whole thing in there. You might not find it. It's an hour. It's not perfect, but it's a debut, you know, so
it's so fucking funny.
Thank you.
You're one of a kind, not even one in a million, one of a kind. You're one of the funniest people on the planet. You're as smart as people come, man. And I'm just feel this is incredible to be able to sit down and learn more about you.
Thank you so much, Mike. You know I hate compliments.
And that's why I'm doing it.
I've been sitting squirming like,
look at me.
Yes. Call me a big bitch or something. You know?
Never.
I feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
So stick around for part 2. We're about to head over to patreon.com/gettinsomehead with more Ebony Moore. And then after that, Ebony is gracious enough to stick around for an After Dark episode. You're the first woman we've had for After Dark.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited to ask this, and hopefully I don't creep you out too much.
Black history. You know?
All right, we'll see you over at the Patreon. Later, guys.